we're back once again with the Renegade Master. The Renegade Master being Chris Valleau. Hello, Valleau.
What's up? How's it going?
Good to see you. Cheers.
To see you
A
too.
little cheeky cheers.
Absolutely, cheers to that. I think you have to.
No, I think we do. Dallas, cheers. Oh, sorry. You're too late, Dallas. Jesus Christ.
Now I got to do it again.
Hang on. Do you want to? Hang on. I'm gonna scooch myself. You need to scooch a little bit.
In.
Do I need to scooch?
If you scooch that way a little bit, yeah.
This way?
Yeah, just a little that, so we can see, just so we can see everyone really
Dallas.
well.
We're learning.
Producer, do we have to redo that intro?
No, we're good.
No, we're killing it.
Keep it in.
Give it in.
Yeah.
We cut nothing on this
Yeah,
podcast.
so lean towards me, Alex. Just lean towards me. Not Jesus Christ.
Can it be this for like 45 minutes? Closer? No, farther. No, a little bit closer.
Anyways, Ollie, who are we and what are we doing?
Hello and welcome to the Anything Else from Somewhere Else podcast. My name is Olli Eldrick. I'll be your host today. I'm joined by
Alex Lints.
And on our third mic, we have the wonderful producer, Mr.
Hi, I'm Dallas Outsider.
And joining us on the guest mic today, we have
Hi, I'm Chris Valleau, and I just found out the name of this podcast, and I love it.
Chris.
Anything else?
Most of the people we try and get on this, we let know beforehand because we have to beg and plead.
Luckily, Chris is just here.
Yeah.
Chris was just here.
Chris just lives at the pub when he's in the city, so.
Chris just comes with the venue.
Yeah, so
we just brought him out from under the stage.
So Chris, you haven't been given as much prep time as some of the other people, so we're not expecting as much from you. But thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for the beer.
Of course, honestly, the sweeten thing is 2 free beers. But first of all, Chris, we do want to start off, as of now, 1 minute, just to tell us who you are musically. Tell us about.
Oh, so I can talk about music.
Yeah, for now.
1 minute.
You
Is
get
there a
1
timer?
minute.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Well, I'm Chris Valleau. I play guitar with the Steadies. I've been with them for about 5 years. It's been a band for about 11. We've been very busy this summer, so you just caught me as I was actually working another job at the end here, having a beer, and that's my whole musical thing right now, and it keeps me active in my entire life. So finding other musical things to talk about will be difficult, but we're going to dig deep into the heart.
We're gonna
Well,
go.
that's good, Chris, because we love you. But my God, we just want you to talk about anything else.
Hey, yeah, we're sick of your yelling and raving on the stage and your stupid dance moves. And
So what you got to talk to us about, Chris?
Should we guess at least?
Yeah.
yeah, can you guys give some guesses?
I think it's going to be
I made-
disgusting biological function.
I made some jokes earlier about that. Other passions other than
that word.
what I can't say.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, music.
Music.
This was such a mistake.
It was, but it's a fun mistake to have.
Oh, no, this is a good mistake. I was just thirsty.
What did you do as a kid, Chris?
As a kid?
Yeah.
I like sports. I was going to kind of dive into sports a little bit. I was never great at them, but I really enjoy them, and I still feel like that's kind of where I'm at.
What was were you pushed by parents in sports, or were you like kind of wanting
Like
to?
not pushed, but encouraged. Like my mom, it was just me and my mom growing up, and like baseball was kind of.
You grew up in Saskatoon,
Yeah.
didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, right in this area actually.
Oh,
So
nice.
I literally have not moved. You could have pulled me out from under the stage to get me to do this. Everyone always like talks about whenever I'm out doing what I do. I'm drinking for that. They're like, Saskatoon, why do you live there? Like, what's good there? I was like, well, it's actually pretty sweet. Like, it's beautiful in the summer. Like, they're always like so dumbfounded because we go to beautiful places and they're like, what is it about that? I've never been there. I was like, you got to come. Like, come in the summer. It's beautiful. We have a excellent scenery, like beautiful river. We do have a good
Scene.
of.
Honestly,
I'm
actually,
not saying it. I'm not saying it.
what I actually think Chris would be a good person to actually talk about as a secondary thing, though, is just Saskatoon. Like, you are one of the few local musicians I know that is from here and has lived here your whole life.
It's a
That's
running joke
true.
that most people we know are from elsewhere, even just
Yeah.
small towns around Saskatchewan.
Yeah, like that.
But
sorta
you're a
counts.
Saskatoon boy through and through.
I am. Yeah.
Nice.
I actually worked at this establishment for like
Did
15
you actually,
years.
I didn't know you worked somewhere else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for like, well, not 15 years. It was about 15 years ago that I started here. I worked here for about 12.
What were you doing?
I just started in the kitchen. I used to cook and I worked there. And about halfway through, I was the kitchen manager for the last half of it.
Oh,
and then
shoot.
and then I ended up being the entertainment manager for about the last 3 years or so of it.
Now, Chris, I don't want to, again, mention the dreaded words, but now that you're doing bigger and better things, do you
Yes.
still get staff points or?
Yes.
Perpetual staff.
I
points.
still, I made really good friends with the people who run this place. And in my other little job that I do now, my little side gig, we deliver all the booze here. So that's a perk.
We bumped into each other on
We have
booze
bumped into
delivery.
each other.
Yeah, for those who don't know, I work
And
for
I didn't know that you
Yeah,
were.
I work for Lucky Bastard.
Wait a minute. I was like, what's...
Ollie's clearly stealing that.
Yeah. Is that your van? What do you do there again?
I manage a bar for them.
You
but
manage the bar for
I
them?
was doing some deliveries for them before my
Okay,
bar
yeah,
opened.
yeah. I just work for a delivery company now, just kind of part-time, just while I'm in the city, not touring and doing stuff, and it keeps me quenched, and I still get to come to places.
Quenched and
get
wenched. Yeah, that's
Quenched
what-
and wenched, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, if you want to go to the historic place where Olli, Eldrick, and Chris Valleau accidentally bumped into each other while both on delivery jobs, the loading bay in Urban Cellars on off 8th Street is the place to go.
I would love to do one of those Hollywood tours. If you look out on your left.
Lots of memories made at that loading bay at Urban Cellars.
Honestly, who else?
One time this year, I saw a dead cat outside.
Oh.
That wasn't that. It was memorable, but not in the good way.
You're gonna make Dallas sad.
was
Dallas
there.
is a sensitive boy. You can't talk about
I cried. It was sad. And it
Dallas.
was there
You can
for
cry
weeks.
if you want.
It was there for weeks. We won't talk about that.
No.
Music.
Okay.
You bastard.
Actually, as a guy who's kitchen manager here, and I assume I love this place a lot. I
Yeah,
love
man.
this place, but the menu hasn't changed that much.
No,
I
it
feel.
hasn't. We were just sitting with the kitchen manager here a little bit ago, and one thing that he did say, he's like, you know what I'm proud of is like now the menu is like half of what I put on it, and I was just like, yeah, that's cool, and it is cool, but like when I took over, I wasn't like Red Seal trained or anything. I started in the Boston Pizzas of the world and just like learned how to do things fast. Like,
It's
just
okay.
be fast online, and then like just like from there, like I started working at a place like this, and then you have time to get creative and do stuff. But then what I learned is like, oh, this place is like known for its food. People come here because the burgers homemade, and like I don't think the recipe's changed since
I've never actually had a burger here.
What?
No?
Dallas, you've had the burger a few times.
Oh yeah, I do recommend
so
the burger. I always get the blue cheese on it.
I still
Oh, you're the blue cheeseburger kind of
Yeah.
guy. It's
yeah.
good for people that like that. I'm not one of them.
I've not had the burger here. I've not had the pizza here. I've had the wings. I've had a lot of the wings.
Yeah.
Here. Dallas and I've had a fair bit of the wings
Yeah,
here.
it's always been known. But that was one thing that I did when I took over. I was like, I'm not changing shit. Like, it is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, it was so good. Just tweaks here and there, right? You see what, like, okay, this hasn't really sold. We're kind of throwing out some of this stuff. So get rid of it off the menu and just add something simple and delicious and homemade. And
What's your
away you go.
favorite thing on the menu?
It's a fully loaded question, my friend. I don't want to. Actually, I don't even know if it's on the menu anymore, but it was one of the things that I did put on and got good reviews. But it was like I think it still is on the menu. It's the Cajun chicken sandwich with goat cheese.
I'm not a big fan of goat cheese, so when
You
I've had
are?
it, I'm not. No,
Oh.
I love Cajun chicken though, and I didn't know that until I moved to Canada because it doesn't really exist in the UK. Big fan of the Cajun chicken. Goat cheese,
Take it or leave it.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, I fucking love it. Not a big fan of
I-
blue cheese.
I wish.
And by not a big fan, I mean not at all.
Every time I eat goat cheese, I'm always like, man, I wish I was the man who loved this. I wish I was that guy.
That's how I feel about lots of
It's
foods
like, I
I
feel
don't
like
like.
it's like when you meet a
Like
guy
blue
who
cheese.
talks about like when he left a girl who was pregnant. He's like, I wish I was the man to raise that kid. I'm the man who wishes he could who could love that love that goat cheese.
But instead, you got to watch Dallas Outsider here.
Exactly, just wolf it down. Just wolf it down instead. And I do. Yeah, goat cheese, blue cheese, and mushrooms are the things I wish I loved. I don't like.
I don't love mushrooms, but I love cooking with them. Like, give me a
Yo,
mushroom
yeah, there's
soup, and I'll pick
there's
them all
so
out.
much
Like,
fun
make
stuff.
a mushroom sauce, pick them out, and then eat
There's
what's
stuffed
left.
mushrooms.
Oh, it's so good.
Dallas,
Yeah.
we know. So we were.
gonna-
we went to West Manitoba last year, and Alex's mother graciously gifted us some stuffed mushroom caps.
Mm.
We were she gifted enough for the three of us to eat. I don't eat mushrooms. Alex doesn't eat mushrooms. Dallas does.
I ate the whole thing.
The whole thing.
You spent the whole
I would have scooped all the filling out of it. And filling, like that shit's delicious. Like what was in? I'm like crab, cream cheese.
It was mostly very cream cheese.
Yeah,
heavy.
I mean that's your starting
But,
point
you
with
know.
stuffed mushrooms. Oh, and it's so
So-
good because the mushroom it provides really good flavor, and it's like people are
Is
like,
it-
"Oh, you don't like the texture?" It's like, no, it's not just the texture. Just like
It's the taste when they're
It's the
cooked.
texture.
I always say it's the taste when they're raw and the texture when they're cooked. Is
Yeah.
what I can't do.
it's all bad. Yeah.
But if you dice them up or blend them into a sauce, oh
Then
my god,
we're
that
good to
umami,
go.
that's
Yeah.
good to go. That's,
Yeah.
My dad makes a really good red pepper and tomato one with roasted onions and mushrooms. That's amazing. Shout out Russell if you're listening. Love you, Daddy. But yeah, didn't feel good.
I also love his dad.
I love Russell too. We all love Russell. Big fans
I
of
love
Russell.
you too, Russell.
This
I hope
episode
to-
was
hope
sponsored
to
by
meet you
Russell.
someday.
Glad to have you. If you need IT solutions for very limited ordering systems that are non-pharmaceutical medical ordering systems in the Nottinghamshire area, Russell Wilson Smith is your man.
Actually, that's a question I just thought of to ask Chris. So, like Dallas and Ollie both use like stage names. What would your stage name be?
Oh,
So I've thought about this before. Like, I don't know. My name's kind of unique. You guys use stage names? What's your stage names?
I don't. They do.
so my real surname is Wilson Smith.
That's your real
it-
name?
Yeah.
Oliver Peter Wilson Smith.
I'm outta here.
Yeah. Maybe. But no, it's too long. So I
Yeah.
go by. So when I moved to Canada, I used my great grandfather's first name because he abandoned the family, and the only good thing he gave my family was his first name. So I go by Olli Eldrick. Shout out Eldrick Todd.
And Dallas, why do you use Dallas Outsider?
That's a company that a friend from Vancouver asked me to be his co-partner in, and I just went with it. I took the business.
It's got a good ring to
It's,
it.
is it-
Outsider's
it's
got
the
a cool
company
name.
that produces this podcast, technically speaking.
Outsider Radio, which you can watch this podcast on
can.
YouTube.com/Outsider Radio.
You probably won't be, but you can.
Yeah, because like Dallas, you've got a decent surname of Becker.
Yeah, Dallas Becker is a pretty good
It's a
lead
good-
guitar
it's a
player
good
name.
There's no member of Rammstein called Dallas Becker.
That is a good band. I don't know. Chris Valleau is my real name. It's easy and fun to say, but if you see it written, people don't say it right.
I think the problem is, yeah, you run into the thing. It's really fun to say, but to translate from reading to
Yeah,
speaking
exactly.
to
So
reading.
you want to
is-
be able to read it, right? But then again, like look at it, half the fucking band
It's-
names
it's
out there
EA
these
it's
days. There's
EA
like Baby No Money, and it's like how do you read that and know exactly how to say it without?
Oh, Bub No Dollar Sign. Yeah, I know Bub
yeah,
No Dollar Sign.
yeah.
That's what I've been calling
And that's
it.
just a fraction of an
Talked
example.
about a band again.
Oh,
This has been just
you
the falling
said stage
apart.
names. You did this. You
But,
did this.
But you're AEU, I'm assuming.
Can you start from the beginning,
sorry,
please?
You're VALLEAU.
Nailed it,
Fuck yeah.
man. Look at you.
I've got them on Instagram.
You did
and
your
everything.
research,
Oh,
yeah.
I should have checked it
I'm
beforehand.
going to bring it back to the pub, actually, here on this question to get us out of the music weeds here. Oh, shit.
You said weeds.
I know, right? So having been the kitchen person here,
Yes.
Chris, and being in charge of all that, how stressful was wing night?
Well, as I make eye contact with the ones who was working it and like basically took over what I was doing. You know what? Like, it might be weird to say, but I found that wing night wasn't that crazy. Like, it was crazy busy. Very, very
But you're
busy.
making one thing, I'm assuming. So like it's
Yeah,
just in,
like
out, baskets go
we're
in,
not,
baskets
yeah,
go out.
we're
kind of
not
thing.
like we're not making them per order because there's 50 people ordering wings at once. So you're just making a bunch of wings. Like if it's a slow night and it's like somebody gets an order of wings, like okay, you put the 12 down and then you sauce them and then you're good to go. But wing night, like you're just always cooking them. And it's not like they're sitting there under a heat lamp. Like you're putting them in a thing and they're going out immediately. So you just have people. It's like an assembly line.
Yeah.
So it's just go, go, go. And it's very repetitive. It's very high paced. You have to be able to keep up. It's very fast. But it's like, if you can do that, it's not that bad.
It's the nights when
especially if you're working with the right people.
It's-
Like, you got to have the right
Yeah.
rotation and stuff, you know?
It's the nights where it's busy, but it's different things
Mhm.
every time. That's going to be the
I
problem.
prefer, yeah, like if you're working on a Saturday and you have some sort of special, but like, and it's busy, but everybody's ordering everything, like that's where the stress is.
Actually, you,
A wing night is like, okay, we're going to be busy for 4 hours straight, but it's going to be just sauce and wings
It's
over
the-
and
it's the
over and
same thing
over again.
Working bar, like making
Yeah.
Caesars isn't a problem if
Yeah.
I know I'm going to be making
All
a
of
shit ton of
them. Yeah.
Caesars all day. But if I'm making like a Caesar, a couple of different Cosmos, and
Yeah.
whatnot, god damn, that's a
Yeah,
hard day.
totally.
That's a hard, controversial night to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a tricky one.
Ins and outs of kitchens, man. You
Do
miss
you- do
it
you mi-
a
do you
little
miss- I was
bit.
gonna say, do you miss it? Do you miss?
Yeah, you do. Like you miss the antics of being.
Do
in
you
a
ever wish you
kitchen,
could
right?
just jump back? Like,
I was about to say, if you could just come in like at will.
I did offer when I left working here. I was like, if you ever need me to fill in for like a shift here and there, because that's what we did. It's not a very big kitchen. It's not a very big
No, it's
staff.
not.
There's only like 4 or 5 people that work, and then they just do it all. And so somebody needs a week off or whatever. This time of year, actually, especially, was always tricky because it's Nest Creek this weekend,
It
and
is.
I always
Nest
go.
Creek what festival?
I don't know.
it's
like
arts and crafts.
Arts and crafts. I was just gonna say. Yes, sir. But you know, you get 2 people out of your 4 or 5 people that need it off. It's like, we need somebody. So I would often rely on people that used to work here, and just like they're still part of the family, right? You're
They're all
like, hey,
gonna-
can you just work a few shifts and help out? They're like, absolutely, of
Of course,
course.
they're going to be drinking. You'll
Yeah,
find them.
yeah, like yeah. What are you gonna do? Get fired? Like, no. You come in, you drink whatever you want.
Which is something like having done sound here for like probably about 8 months now. Like that's something I think I've realized is really special about this place. Is like it didn't take long for me to really feel like I'm
You're
part
part
of
of
this
it.
place.
You're in,
Like,
yeah.
Don't
yeah,
say
I'm in
family.
this now.
No,
Don't-
you're not.
don't-
That's kind of faux pas in the
Yeah.
restaurant world.
Yeah, don't
But it's
say
not even
Which,
like
like,
that.
I used to
It's-
work at one, and I loved that because they actually was family owned. Like it all was an
To be fair,
actual
there's a- To be
family.
fair, somewhere else does feel like family sometimes because we watch Jill and Kurt bicker and throw things at each other. And
I think it's
reminds
more
me
of
of
just
Christmas
like you're
back
part
home.
of the
Yeah,
idea.
Chris is
of
sleeping
it.
under the stage.
Yeah. that's a good little space for that.
It's fantastic. Yeah, even if I didn't do sound here, I honestly, if I wasn't doing sound here anymore, I would still come back here constantly.
I mean, look at me.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, yeah.
Oh, I'm going to do a mini quick fire, if that's okay.
A what?
Chris, best drink in town.
Best drink in town?
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I don't know, but I have been loving these Spud Lights.
Spud Light, where from? Where from? What do you know?
Well, it's from Pile of Bones,
Pile of Bones?
according to my glass,
Which,
which is in
Regina?
Regina. And I only heard of it here. It's Spud Light, everyone. Spud Light, like a potato.
And it won actually Best Beer Awards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to work for Sask Brewing, and their craft lager lost this one, unfortunately. And it was a bit of a controversy because Spud Light's kind of like a novelty thing, but it is, having never had it before, it's actually quite delightful.
Well, and it's a beer, and it's one of those things like
Pile of
there's
Bones know
certain
what they're
drinks.
doing.
There's certain drinks that I'll go to. I frequent the bars around the city. I've lived here a while, and every bar that you go to, I don't order the same thing, or I'll order the same thing at that place.
Yeah,
Like,
you go to certain bars for
here is
certain
my,
things.
This is my drink here. Whereas if I go to Bud's, like I'm probably getting a bottle of kokanee.
yeah.
Or maybe a Ryan ginger ale or something like that. And if I go, like, it's just always different. It's just specific to that place. I don't know why I do that.
No,
do other people do that?
I
feel
do
like
that.
everybody
yeah,
does
yeah.
that.
No,
100%.
Or like us
you,
cheap
You
folk.
don't.
No, I don't. But I'm saying
Or
you do.
us cheap
I know
ass
people do.
musicians will go and get whatever's on special.
Exactly. I've never done that in
Go to
in
Black
my-
Cat. Oh, $5 Lucky? Absolutely.
What is okay? Best.
Lucky's good
we
too,
don't really
though.
have true dive bars in the city, but what's the best dive answer for the city? Would you say?
Dive?
Yeah.
Do you call Bud's a dive?
A bit.
Yeah, Bud's is a dive. But would you
Yeah.
go there when there's not music?
Yeah. I
You
do.
would.
Drink.
You. Oh yeah.
Ah, shit.
God damn it.
I
Dallas.
missed that one. I missed that one.
That's why we have the producer.
Dallas.
I do
keeping us
because
honest.
I know the people there, and like I know the
It is-
and,
it is
and,
really
and
fun,
it's
yeah.
very regular oriented.
Mm.
It is.
It's nothing but and you're only gonna have like maybe sometimes 6 or 7 people in there, but I'm gonna know half of them.
Honestly, Broadway down
Yeah.
that whole way is great for
Yeah,
for those.
And that's kind of where I stick to. I don't really go downtown a lot. I never really
I
have.
always-
I don't
I-
know
I
why,
tend
even
to- if
for
I-
food or whatever. Like I just kind of stick to Broadway.
If I bump into you, it's on Broadway. Usually at Leo's, but I bumped into you
Oh,
at
yeah,
Bud's.
Leo's
I
for
bumped
sure,
into you
yeah.
at Bud's. I bumped into you here, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, this is on Broadway. It's just
Yeah,
way
it's
down
the,
Broadway.
yeah, it's like the fancy area of Broadway. No, it's the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's not the actual district of Broadway that you would call it.
Yeah.
That's why it's here.
For
Friendly
people who-
neighborhood.
Yeah,
pub.
for people who don't know Saskatoon, basically Broadway is
8th Street
the
to
Arts
the
District.
bridge. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's across the river, so you got downtown on one side, and then Broadway's the main street on the other side, and that first few blocks is very artsy, very main street, and then Broadway just continues for about 2 miles.
Yeah.
And
I've
it goes through,
lived at a few houses on Broadway
yeah,
before,
and it goes
actually.
through just residential neighborhoods
Yeah.
and stuff. And we're in Avalon, where you got this nice little suburban center just off
Yeah.
Broadway, where you've got a good liquor store, somewhere else pub, Taste of Syria restaurant, which I really need
Man.
to try at some point.
I actually haven't been there either. The Asian kitchen's really good.
Yes.
The only thing we're missing, which I don't know if we're legally allowed to have, is a weed store.
There are. Well, I'm sure. I live 5-minute walk from 5 different weed dispensaries downtown.
Yeah.
Surely we can get one here.
Well, I think it might be like a legal thing because there's a school across the street
Yeah.
Oh, good. I don't live near schools. Yeah.
for other legal reasons.
Shut the fuck up, Chris.
Why did you move all the way to Canada? Ollie?
Shut the fuck up, everyone. I was a teacher before I moved here.
He
Was.
Anyway,
Were you actually?
yeah, I was. Yeah, I university.
Okay.
But I also did like youth pastoring and stuff like that. Anyway, this isn't about me. We're not interviewing me. We're interviewing you.
Why are you sweating so much?
These
We're gonna
lights are hot, eh?
We are going to move on to our first segment. Like with beauty pageants, I like to keep my guests on their feet,
Oh, God.
able to answer questions that you weren't expecting at
Yeah.
the drop of a hat. This is a real question that was asked at a real beauty pageant. I'm going to ask you. This one was asked at Miss Texas 2022.
You did your
Where
research.
do you want your next passport stamp to come from?
Ooh, that's a good question. It's not about where I want one. I do know where it probably will be, but that's not the question, you fucking idiot. Like, I don't know. My 2 answers that I go to is New Zealand or Jamaica.
Have you not been to either?
No, I've barely been anywhere, man. I've
So where's the next one going to come from?
Saskatoon under the stage at the pub. No, the next one, I think we're going to Hawaii.
Yeah, that does count. Yeah, because that's America. That's a different country.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
You need a passport to get there.
So why New
I
Zealand?
guess technically I have been
Is-
to
you
America,
say-
though,
when you
so
say-
does that
when-
even count?
You still need a different passport stamp. When you say Jamaica, are you using that as a stand-in for all of the Caribbean, or are you wanting specifically to go to Jamaica?
I mean, I'd be happy anywhere. I'm pretty easy.
Fair
But
enough.
that one just kind of stands
Jamaica's
out.
good.
Yeah.
Jamaica's fun. Like, there's some really good. You've got to try some food out there.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up around a Caribbean community, so like I've had some good stuff out there, and currently working around a Jamaican kitchen has been great fun.
Oh, I bet.
Go curry, man. That's
Oh,
all-
I believe
That's
it.
all I live for. But next question. This is who dis. This is a real person. I'm not expecting you to know who this person is, but based on vibes of the name only, give me a fake biography for them. Who is, or who was, Harry Balls?
And this is a real person?
Yes.
Well, he's definitely a porn star
Yeah?
from the 70s, obviously. Like, there's no question about it. Like, what else would it be? What else could you even imagine?
So you're saying Harry Balls was a stage name?
No,
you're
real
saying
name.
that he was
That's
just
his real
blessed
name?
and he
No.
just knew
Blessed
he
with a
had to
quality
learn.
name.
Yeah, born, like, their parents clearly wanted him to be in the porn business.
He was
like,
born for the role.
What if he grew up and he was one of those people, like, what is it called? Alopecia, where you don't have hair?
Yes. Scrotal alopecia.
Oh, yeah, only there? Is that a thing?
I mean, I guess you could, but I
Oh,
don't think it's a
man.
real. I don't think it's happened.
Poor
I think it's
guy.
called waxing.
Poor Harry.
So that's what you're
Anyway,
going
he
for.
lived a full life. He did.
Bushy life.
Yeah, it was very thick. Yeah.
Oh.
Brought his machete everywhere.
Who was he actually, Ollie?
He was, I believe, he was either a politician or a sports official from
Not
Indiana.
allowed to talk about that.
that's all I'll say.
How was it
said no
spelled?
politics.
Harry, spelled as you'd expect, HARRY,
So the name way, okay.
BAALS.
Yeah, okay.
Bowels.
Balls.
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 My name's
Harry
Harry
Balls.
Balls.
Are you
Harry
Harry
Balls.
Balls? No. I'm Harry Balls.
He must have had a tough high school.
Yeah. Oh. He
The-
dropped out.
The next segment is one I think you'd enjoy, and honestly, probably our producer's best chance so far. Are you smarter than Dallas Outsider? We're going to ask you
Oh, no.
5 questions from a recent edition of Trivial Pursuit, and by recent I mean they're from 1993.
Oh.
You'll get first dibs. If you-
1993?
Yeah, if you mess them
I
up.
was Fuck, I'm not that smart. I don't even know how old I was.
Are you
I
over
was
30?
like 5.
Yeah, you're over 30.
Yeah.
You were alive.
I was 5 years old, yeah.
I wasn't.
I know.
These guys weren't.
I wasn't even born.
Older doesn't always mean wiser.
Well, Oliver, this one's going to maybe trigger you a bit in light of recent events, but what European country's soccer squad caused a national uproar by losing to the U.S.?
Was it was it Argentina?
No.
Damn it.
Dallas, what would you say?
Spain.
No, it'd be England.
Oh, obviously.
You
Who
idiot.
has caused yet another national uproar by losing yet another.
In the final. In the final.
Yeah, that was
Gotta
tough.
love those silver medals.
I watched a bit of that. I was never a big football fan. Soccer. That style. That's the dumb thing. It's like I want to call it football. I really do. I want to call it what it actually is, but it just can like
Honestly, Alex and
why
I
is there
have the
two
issue
sports
that
called the same
we
thing?
don't talk about NFL or CFL that much, so when
Yeah.
we say football, we talk about
Yeah.
soccer.
Right.
But hearing
But
from
for the
Alex, but
people
when I
that
hear in
actually-
Alex's accent, I think he's talking about CFL every single time.
So maybe there's just different ways to say like football and then football or like
football.
I just say footy.
footy.
works,
Oh,
yeah.
that's a good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's,
then if you say footy to an Aussie, it's
Oh,
a
I
different
guess
thing
it's Aussie
entirely.
rules, yeah.
Or to an Irishman.
Oh, yeah. Anywho, so our second question here, Chris. What NBC show prompted General Motors to sue and pull its ads due to a staged car explosion?
Oh yeah, and this is from 90.
93.
Can you repeat the question, please?
What NBC show prompted General Motors to sue and pull its ads due to a staged car explosion? So I'm assuming they blew up one of General Motors' cars.
Yeah. Fuck, what was hot back then? I'm drawing a blank. I don't know. Do you have any idea?
Dallas?
I'm
Go on, give us
I
some.
don't even have a good
gonna
guess.
say the freaking Hawaii 5.
You'll be featured on it someday, probably, Dallas.
General Hospital?
Dateline NBC. Welcome to the podcast. I'm Chris Hansen.
Take a seat.
Were you expecting to be on a podcast today, Mr. Outsider? Or did you come here to podcast? Third question. What Purple Kids character had a float in Bill Clinton's inaugural parade?
Barney?
It is Barney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
1-0 with two
What other
questions to
purple
go.
Get good,
character
Dallas.
would there be?
Get good.
Is this like a we answer? Like, are you giving me the question first?
If
or
he
do I
can't
have-
get it, he goes and
Okay.
to try and steal.
He could have been
So-
Grimace.
What
Yeah.
19?
Oh, you're right. It could have been. If I'd have thought of him first, I'd have said that for sure.
What 192-year-old newspaper was in dire need of a buyer in 1993?
I don't have any idea.
Dallas?
That's old newspaper.
This is that old, like fucking 30
Super-
years ago.
Super old. I
It's
guess.
still a newspaper, though.
New York Times.
I was gonna say the New
Oh,
York
you were
Times, but-
very close. It's the New York Post.
Oh, the shitty one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the New York Times, but
Did I
was
get at
like,
least like half a point? 'Cause
We'll
I
give you
got-
half.
no,
We'll give you
because I
half.
was gonna say it, so it doesn't count.
And
He is
for
right.
all the marbles here, what did Pepsi call its clear cola?
Oh, shit.
Oh, I remember this.
Oh, do you know it? And you're just waiting for me to fuck up?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I should know it, but I don't. Can I have a hint?
No.
Okay. Fuck. I'm gonna get it wrong, and I'm gonna get beat by this little tiny jabroni.
Never have I heard him summarized in such an accurate way.
Look at that jabroni. Look at him.
Oh, you guys don't use jabroni?
We should use it more.
jabroni more than we do.
Everyone should
We
use
do at
jabroni.
night. We do when we're drinking.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, is clear in the name? I feel
No.
like, okay, then I don't know. You win, maybe.
Crystal Pepsi.
It's Crystal
Crystal!
Pepsi.
So Dallas wins by 1.5 to 1. Dallas, this is your first victory. Fourth episode. That's,
Cheers, bro.
I've actually realized we
wouldn't have
actually
wanted it
skipped
any other.
over part of one of our segments where, and I think it was because Chris didn't talk about anything specific. We talked about a litany of interesting things, but part of this podcast is we're trying to educate Dallas.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Dallas is an audio engineer
you
like
brought
me,
the wrong guest.
but like unlike me, he doesn't have any other education as well. So he's a dim man. He's not. So we're trying to increase his knowledge of the world.
As you say, as I beat him in Trivia Wars.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you brought the wrong guy.
We came to the wrong
Dallas,
point.
do you have any questions for Mr. Valleau here?
What wrestler would you absolutely do a pub crawl with?
What, wrestler?
Yeah.
Ooh. A pub crawl?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Oh, that is a good one.
Is it a Saskatoon specific pub crawl?
No, it could be any pub crawl.
Oh.
I immediately know who I'd say.
Do you?
Yeah.
Who would you say?
Andre the Giant.
Well, I would be embarrassed if I went with him.
No,
I know.
I do it with Stone Cold.
Yeah,
that'd be
like
a good one.
he was kind of maybe one of the first. He was one of the first that came to my mind, but like I don't know, maybe there's like other things to think about. Like I don't know, he might be a little too abrupt, and especially when he got in that era where he was just saying "what" all the time, like fuck, that'd get annoying, real fast. Like when he was saying anything and the crowd was just, I hated that.
Also, did you know he's a wine connoisseur?
I did see that. Yeah, yeah. It looks dumb.
You know who'd just be really fun to see get drunk on a pub crawl though would be the man himself, Vince McMahon.
Oh man, he would.
That'd be a bizarre
You'd
night.
get in trouble, but like you would find yourself in a very fun spot. I'm sure. Some penthouse suite somewhere. But then all of a sudden you'd see something in another room. You're like, okay, I gotta go.
Exactly. Yeah, you'd have to.
That's enough for me.
Yeah, you'd have to have a good radar for when to get out of there. But
Yeah.
Honestly, I still stand Big Show. I think would be a great.
Big
I
Show would
just
be
feel-
fun.
Just
He
the
seems
vibes would
cool.
be fun. Yeah.
I always loved to hate Kurt Angle, but like I always admired him as a character, as a wrestler. I don't think I'd want to hang out with him on a pub crawl though.
I feel like he'd ask about the protein content of every single beer you'd have.
Oh, they all would.
Yeah. No, but he would really. That would
But
be.
he would really.
Yeah.
He would really. Or just like Kane, but when he had his mask and he didn't talk, and he would just sit there in his red suit. He didn't do anything.
could you imagine though, like if
And
you
then
had
all of a sudden, like fire would come out of nowhere. And
Kane, you having a good time?
Well, I was gonna say if you had like Chris Foley on, and like throughout the night he keeps turning into different Chris
yeah.
Foley.
No, that'd be great.
Oh, no, Mick
he
Foley,
goes.
Mick
No,
Foley, yeah.
he gets too drunk. Mick Foley is no longer allowed out, and then they're like, "Sorry, so
Mick
we can't."
Foley would be fine.
Mick Foley. They're like,
They
"We
kick
can't-"
him out.
They kick him out. All of a
but
sudden,
then he shows
Cactus
up
Jack
again.
comes
Yeah.
in, and they're like, "Sir, great to see you. Have a wonderful night inside."
I just
And
have
then
really.
his last one would come flying through the ceiling and land on the bar, and fucking all your beers would spill. All right, well, I guess we're fucking closed, everyone. Sorry.
All right, we get. Well,
I don't think I actually answered it, but it was fun.
yeah, I think that was fun.
I
think
have a good story about the Andre the Giant thing. My mom's best friend's dad actually used
Is Andre
to,
the Giant?
No, used to
Probably.
go bar crawling with Andre the Giant.
you shitting me?
Funny enough, and yeah, he lives in Italy when Andre the Giant used to live there,
That's wild.
and yeah, he would order like 12 whole bottles of
the man
wine
would get hammered, but not hammered like we would.
in one. Yeah,
Yeah.
he'd drink the whole bar in one sitting. It's crazy.
Like one of the divas would be awesome too.
Oh
right? Like
my
obviously,
God.
like if it could be my +1 for the
Oh,
night,
that'd be
like
you get.
I
in
would
any-
choose
You'd get
that.
in anywhere. You'd get in. Nowhere would be max capacity for
Yeah.
Chris Valleau at that point.
It would either be Stacy Keebler or Trish Stratus. For
Oh,
sure.
Trish Stratus. Oh, that's
Yeah.
going back to my. No, moving on. Moving to the quickfire round. Favorite Tom Hanks movie?
We ask every guest these questions.
These are just to create a psychological
Captain
profile.
Phillips.
Oh,
Interesting
best scene?
choice.
Oh, okay.
Man, the last 5 minutes of that movie is like his acting is the best
It's
acting
Not
I've
My
ever seen
Blood.
in my life. Like, okay, what was the next one?
The "It's Not My Blood" bit where he's like, "It's not my blood."
Yeah. Oh, maybe a little bit.
Okay, we got our Tom Hanks impression. I got that ticked off. Which cereal leaves the best milk as a kitchen manner?
Ooh. Okay, the first thing that came to mind was Fruit Loops.
Ooh.
I don't know if that's my top choice. Like, this is quick round, so I always get stressed out. I'm
You
like,
got time,
oh, what
you
if
got-
I asked the wrong answer?
You got
wrong?
time. You got time.
It's not my blood. Fruit Loops
It's not
was-
my Fruit Loop.
I like Fruit Loops. I like
Oh
the-
no! No!
Okay, rebuttal question. Would
Yeah.
you drink somebody else's cereal milk?
Yeah, of course, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
No need to get antsy about it.
Yeah, I have no qualms. I do a lot of stuff, Chris.
Ooh,
I'm the wrong person.
Cinnamon
to ask.
Toast Crunch is a good one, too.
Good.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hang on, Dallas, as a resident foodie.
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
100% on.
Dallas is down.
Stamp
so-
of approval.
Oh, no. I changed my answer. Nesquik
Yes.
chocolate cereal.
See, Dallas for
200% based on that.
That's
Dallas
the
for
one.
some reason was under the impression that Nesquik was a banned answer to this
Because
for a
it's
while.
obvious.
Because it's too. I might be with you on that.
But it is good. Like, well, not,
It's so
not
good.
everyone
Who
wants
doesn't
chocolate.
wanna
Not
make
everyone wants
chocolate
chocolate.
milk?
Honestly, sometimes like I want like a bit of a zhuzh. But Nesquik is great if you want chocolate.
Fuck, I haven't had that.
Next one. We're moving on to our morning.
could talk
We're
cereal
still
for a
on our
long
morning
time.
portion, but it's not cereal. When you shower, do you face towards or away from the water?
So I actually have problems with my ear. I'm missing my right eardrum.
Okay.
I've always had ear problems since I was a kid. Everyone's always like, "Oh, it must be from playing loud music."
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Kurt.
But it was not from that. It was just regular old boring infections when I was a kid, and
That is boring. That
had the
is
tubes in the ears, and I left a hole in your
Yeah.
eardrum. They're supposed to sort of naturally heal, especially if you like hit a growth spurt as a kid, which I never really did. Just kind of casually grew into the
Yes.
Dallas
average
is
height
also
man I am today.
teeny tiny.
I've also been through that too.
You had
I
the
didn't.
tubes
I didn't
and
have
stuff?
growth spurt. I just slowly.
Oh, you did that part.
Yeah.
But anyway, I had a few surgeries. They never really took. So I'm missing my whole right eardrum. I'm actually very deaf in my right ear.
Same. I've
I
got a
drink
little.
that, but
I've got a
I
little bit of hearing in
drank it
my
all.
right ear, but not much.
So then,
Kurt.
that anecdote was born out of a question.
And what was the question? Oh, yeah, shower. So because of that, I can't get water in my ears. So I shower with it facing me, and I put my head down so that it doesn't.
You know what,
Because
yeah.
if I go back and then the water's coming like this, like there's more
You know what,
risk.
Chris?
So I just go down like
I'm
that.
just really
and then it rolls
appreciative we've
off.
had someone who's not been a bitch and say, "I rotate." Fuck you, man. No, you don't.
I
You-
rotate.
People do,
like,
but like,
to
yeah, but
rinse
like, yeah,
off
but
and
you
shit,
have a
but, like-
preference. And honestly,
Yeah,
I'm
like
gonna
normally I'm standing with it to
I'm
my
gonna say our
back, but when
first-
I'm washing my head, I'm gonna do my head forward, but then I stand with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that first three guests, bitches, just cowards on those answers. But continue.
I generally just take the shower head right off and just on the
Ooh.
jet setting straight to the butthole.
Honestly, with you. On that same subject, and honestly, it might contribute. Soap or shampoo first?
Do people do soap first?
Allegedly.
We're trying to find out.
Actually,
We're trying to find the
Wait,
person.
I say that as I do.
actually, I do, no,
Soap? You do the whole body first, then hair last?
I do hair last.
Top to bottom.
I do. No, I always forget to.
Head and shoulders.
What if
Knees
you're
and
washing
toes.
a window? You're not going to like wash the bottom and then wash the middle
Yeah.
and then wash the top and then
Yeah.
get the bottom all dirty and then have to
Never
do it
heard
all
of-
over again.
You never heard of the song "Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes"? Yeah.
That's the order.
Yeah.
I like to go for my. I usually go to do my body first, not because I leave the hair for last. I just forget to do my hair until I'm like, fuck, I should really do that.
Well, you got to do the butt and the dick last.
As a treat, yeah.
Good lord.
Okay, the next question. Object you own the most of that you are not collecting.
Guitars.
You're not collecting guitars?
No.
You just end up with a bunch of guitars?
I haven't bought one. I bought one a few.
Let's face it, out of everyone we know, it's Chris Valleau is going to just end
Lord
up.
Funk in
Lord
the house.
Funk.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm not collecting them. I'm not doing it on purpose. But, like, I'll get one. See, here's the thing. I don't know shit about, like, what does what guitars. Like, people always come up to me like, oh, what's this pickup? What's it? Yes, I'm talking about music. What's this? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't know. I just play it, and that's all I care about. And so I bought one on an impulse, and I just own it, and that's my favorite one now, and I just don't care to buy another one. And I own all the old ones that I have, but I feel like there's a sentimental thing, so I don't want to sell them or get rid of them. Or they're broken and worthless, but like I don't want to get rid of those ones either. So I just have a plethora of
No, you can't sell a guitar. That's a wrong thing. I love buying secondhand guitars, but I would never sell a guitar because that's not what you do with guitars. Once you own them, they're not for Christmas, they're for life.
or
That's
or,
dogs, but
Yeah. Or clothes.
The last week's episode, which is the one we just filmed, the other Chris said guitar picks was one.
Oh.
And fun fact, most of my guitar picks these days are yours.
Hey,
Because
good,
I get them
I was
from the
wondering,
stage
I was
after
wondering
you're
where all
done.
mine went, actually. I just had to buy some on tour. I was like, oh, I'm down to my last
It's because
two.
every time you ever play here, you just leave them on the stage, and I
can't
end up
find
getting them.
To be fair, though, anytime I come here, there's also about 5 or 6, so I just pocket anywhere I go. If
Oh,
I
yeah.
see one, obviously you're putting it in your pocket. Nobody cares.
Well, Chris, as a guy who goes on the road a lot, for reasons we won't discuss, what's your guilty pleasure fast food? Like, what are you
fast
hyped
food?
to get but you feel disgusted by?
No guilt, no disgust. Like,
But what is it? What is the what's the thing that you know is
I don't know. Like, there's all these different little fast food spots, right? And like, you kind of have your thing at each of them. You kind of we've been to lots of these places before, so we kind of know it's like, okay, that's the spot here. Is like that's a good Wendy's right there. And, I don't know, it's dumb, but like I don't know. It just kind of depends on the day. It's like who's in the mood for what.
what would you say is the dirtiest order you've made at a fast food joint
The dirtiest.
that you would again?
I mean, McDonald's always seems to have the most regret to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Like A&W is the best quality. It's
In
the
Canada,
best flavored.
100%.
Like everybody agrees. I don't know anyone who's
I thi-
ever disagreed.
I'd
with
say
that.
Wendy's burgers are better, but
Wendy's are
every
good.
additional thing A&W does better. Thank you.
Actually,
Thank you,
I'd
Kurt.
kind of go the opposite. I would say that Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
It might be the best spicy chicken
True.
sandwich out there.
Oh,
Thank you, Kurt. I love you.
you got the Dallas seal of approval on that.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, but they can leave your tummy in ruins. You can sometimes you're in the clear. You're like, oh, that was good, and then you go to the same one later, and it's like, I don't know if it's how they prepared or what else your body has in it at the time, or sometimes it's just like, like emergency poop right now. But McDonald's is the dirtiest. Y'all
It
heard of the
is.
McGangbang?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
We
I
used-
only recently did. Like in the last, I guess 2 years now. I didn't know it was a thing, but I always got the two separately. I never thought of being such a
Have you
dirty
tried-
whore to put
We
them
used to
together.
do one called like the KF McSub slut or something.
Oh, did you go to all of them and get them all?
Which was you got a family bucket. No, it was,
You did
no,
that
it wasn't
on
the family bucket.
purpose.
It was the. Well, you know, we used to call it the family bucket. The bucket for one.
That's
from,
a category on Pornhub, I think.
Yeah, the bucket for one. The bucket for
Gonna
one.
put an explicit on this episode.
KF McSubbers is what we called it. You get the bucket for one from KFC. You'd get a.
You can get a bucket for one.
Yeah, you get the Big Mac meal from Mackey's,
Yeah.
and then you'd get a Subway of a 12-inch Subway of your choice,
Oh, at least that one's of
And-
your choice.
and then you layer it all
together.
all amongst each other. And honestly, the two guys who used to do that at my uni were the skinniest fucks around.
Ah, the skinny ones eat the grossest.
They
And you're
do.
just like, what do they do? They must have the
It's
worst shits.
Dallas.
He's got some paunch on him now.
Skinny. Yeah, it's because he eats weird shit all the time.
But we are.
I
gonna-
like going to the
I have a- I
places.
have a
I'm a
regular
big
bowel system.
poutine guy.
Oh god, where's the best poutine? Where's the best poutine in Saskatoon? I want to know your opinion on this.
So poutine here, prime rib, get all the fat, make gravy out of that. Blah, 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 blah. That was the best one.
That is a good
But
one.
like, you can't just go to a restaurant and make your own poutine.
No,
Oh, don't worry, guys, I got this.
controversial pick for one of my favorite poutines in the city, Cohen's Beer Republic.
Oh, I've never eaten their poutine. I, don't
there's-
go there a
I know
lot.
there's
It's too
I
expensive.
know there was some brouhaha, but I'll skip by that. But their poutine has managed to stand the test of time, and
Yeah?
it's good gravy, it's good fries.
I think the fry is the most important.
And they curd well. They put enough curd. They don't overwhelm you. I found out there is such thing as too many cheese curds on a poutine. You
Can
have to
be.
work at it.
Have you ever, like,
Too few is usually the concern I have.
what's your take on shredded cheese for a poutine? Like blasphemy?
You've got to tell me beforehand.
Oh, you don't want to be surprised.
Yeah, you can't surprise me
Yeah,
with that.
yeah.
You've got to
Because it can be okay.
like, if you-
I've done poutines in a different way where it's
Like,
like,
if you-
okay,
if-
that's acceptable.
If
but
you
yeah,
if you tell me
it-
beforehand, you're like, hey, just so you know, we don't have curd.
and that's where
so
the
we're doing
a good server comes
absolutely
in handy.
like
Yeah.
I'm down for that. If I'm still in, I'm still in. But if I order a poutine, especially if I'm dropping other things onto it and I'm hyped, and it comes with shredded cheese, you've lied to me. You've fully lied to me.
I'm not big on adding shit to a poutine.
Neither am I actually. I might do a Montreal smoked meat
If
occasionally.
it fits, yeah. Like the only, like it has to be kind of like like beef related, like maybe throw the prime rib. Like I said, if you're cooking with that, like maybe something in the realm of that. But like buffalo, like I love buffalo chicken shit. But like, well, not the actual shit.
You and I both like
The shit of
But
a
you
buffalo
can't put
chicken.
buffalo chicken on top of fries and gravy and like that. They don't go together.
You and I are both fans of Leo's,
Yeah.
Leopold's
Yeah.
Tavern.
Poutine there.
The poutine the poutines of the week are really fun and really creative.
Yeah,
But the
I don't-
amount of them I've seen, I've spoken to Lacey about this.
I've
your
ordered them and
fiancé.
I asked them,
And-
can I get everything?
Yeah, but the
separate?
gravy. No, I want everything but the gravy because the gravy's the bit that ruins it for me because you put another sauce on. I don't
Yeah,
want gravy
yeah,
and the
yeah.
other sauce. Just that.
So
sauce.
I say, can I get everything separate? Poutine by itself, and then everything else that you're adding on, can I get it on a plate on
When
the
you
side?
assemble it yourself.
Boom. No, you
Ah.
just eat it separately.
Ah.
It's like then I have some mac and cheese, then I have some
Alex, you've got to
buffalo
move.
chicken, or then Korean
You've
chicken,
got to
or
move me to the
whatever.
recommendation station, otherwise I'm going to stay on this for a
It
while.
goes back to the DQ thing. Oh, I said that's my favorite fast food. I clearly had it
general?
in my head. Back
Just-
to the DQ thing. Nobody said anything about DQ.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was just clearly in my brain. My favorite fast food poutine would be probably Dairy Queen,
Huh?
It's true.
which is like you
I
agree?
Yeah.
Also,
It-
what I want to say is not that bad. Mackey's.
Oh, I hate it.
It's you do.
I don't like it.
I
I
don't-
love
my-
their fries. Who doesn't?
I said my guilty pleasure poutine is Burger King.
Fuck off. Fuck Burger King.
I don't. Their gravy's kind of.
I'll lose sponsorship on that.
It's different. It's differently flavored. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's much different than like
I-
the rest of the gravies are like same kind of category.
Like I agree, it's not the best poutine,
BK
but
is-
it's something
a bit different. It's got something
I would
that
just,
leaves you
yeah.
thinking about it.
Well, we're starting.
I-
Tape is expensive, and we're starting to run up quite a bill
I
here.
think we found out what my passion other than music is. I
food.
think we talked about food for most
I
of this.
think
Simply
so.
poutine
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah. So our last regular question that we ask every guest we have is the recommendation station. So, Chris, did you know that it's recommended that you clean your fridge every 3 to 4 months? And how often do you do it, if ever?
I live life on the road a lot, and I don't
That
really.
doesn't bode well.
I don't really buy groceries a lot anymore. I never really did a lot. I used to work in a kitchen, and then I moved out to just like touring. So it was like I don't have a lot of shit. I loved cooking. I still do, but like I had access to everything here, so I would just make all the good stuff here, and then at home it would just be the simplest, like boxes of KD and fucking, like
I
I wouldn't
wasn't
have
at-
much stuff in
I
my
wasn't at the
fridge.
What
level
you're saying is you've never cleaned your fridge.
I do clean my fridge. I do, but
when a
it's
funk.
not often.
I must admit, I'm in the same, not the same realm as you, a similar one. Like I'm not touring or anything, but like I used to work at a restaurant, and then I was.
I don't
was
do my
I was
cooking at
gigging most
home, which
nights.
is
So, like,
weird.
Yeah, so
Groceries
I'd have
are-
KD, and then I'd take food from the kitchen. So
Yeah.
I was.
I don't do
Yeah,
my
no.
cooking at home. Or if we're out
only
on the
thing-
road and we have a couple days off, it's like, okay, we'll go get groceries, cook a fat meal, and enjoy
Honestly,
it. And then,
outside of cheese,
but my
and-
fridge, it just has beer in it.
yeah, cheese outside of liquor and condiments. I'd
Yeah,
have the
beer and
occasional
ketchup
cheese
and
and
shit.
eggs.
Yeah,
Not to,
cheese,
not,
lots of cheese.
Yeah,
all
not
cheese
to
all
sound, not to
time.
sound like Otto from The Simpsons, but the I had mustard feels really real sometimes. And finally, to finish off, we're going to finish off with some Florida Man from Alex.
Yeah, so our segment Florida Man, where I always find a piece of Florida news and get our guests to react to it.
Okay,
Chris,
cool.
what do you think about the fact that a man arrived at a hospital 8 hours after being shot in Orlando? Police say the incident, they believe it's suspicious in nature.
We talking about very recent stuff where that's like taking over the world?
No,
Oh,
it's from July 13th.
oh,
wait,
okay.
no, that's still not the same thing.
You've confused me.
It's not Trump related.
Yeah.
It's not that.
So he got shot.
A guy got shot and then went to the hospital 8 hours later.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now I get it.
He had to work a shift.
We've all been,
Yeah,
we've
like,
all been
yeah.
that, man. Hey, can
I don't
get
know. In the
cover?
States,
No.
like, if I got shot, I probably wouldn't want to go to the hospital either. It's like, I can't afford this shit. Like,
I'll see if I die, and if I don't, then maybe I should.
yeah,
go and
whatever. Then I'll just keep carrying on. Let's take the vodka that's in my right hand and pour it on my bullet wound that's on my left hand.
And then moving on, we have our local news segment, as in news that's local to anywhere but Saskatoon. It's actually from each of our neck of the woods, from where
Anywhere
we're
else
originally from.
on anything else from somewhere else?
So, a news story from Manitoba, Chris. What do you think about the fact that it might be time to rethink government-owned liquor stores in Manitoba?
I don't know what their government-owned
Well, in
policy is.
Manitoba, our liquor stores are all the Liquor Mart.
It's like when the
Are they bad?
SLGA had all.
Yeah, and now we don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's always been a topic of debate, but now people seem to think it's time to reconsider the necessity and efficiency of government-owned
What
liquor
is
stores.
cheaper is what it boils down to for me. And like helping people out, like jobs and
Yeah.
community and
It's an
stuff.
honest
Like you
answer,
want to
though.
keep it like local and stuff. You don't want to get corporate and shit. But like I don't know, cheap. What's the cheap booze? Like if I can get a bottle of rum here versus a bottle of rum here, which one's cheaper? I'm going there.
Yeah.
From the great city of Nottingham in England, where I'm from, we have. Have you got music playing on your laptop, Dallas?
No. I don't
Nice.
think so.
Is it a banger? Oh, you can't say that. I don't think.
Oh fuck it. Well, we better safe than sorry. What do you think? What are your first thoughts about the fact that a haunted Victorian building is to house vital Nottingham service amid £700,000 upgrade?
You lost me there.
So a
Can I
vital
get a translator
a vital government service
Yeah.
will be housed within a haunted Victorian building.
That's
and it
super
will
cool.
cost £700,000 to update it.
To update it? Are they going to turn it into like a show that we can watch on Netflix or
I
something?
wish.
Because that sounds interesting.
Honestly, in the lace market, we do a lot of ghost tours. I used to be part of them when I was a
Really?
child. Yeah, I was.
That's just fascinating.
My mum worked for New College Nottingham. Shout out! Oh, that was it. Shout out, Les Wilson Smith. My mum used to work for New College Nottingham. Now she works for the cemeteries, so still haunted shit. But I used to, when I was a child, do like heritage days and dress up as a small Victorian urchin in the area. Yeah, there's some great buildings around there.
So, Dallas, what's our news from Vancouver?
So what's your thoughts about in Vancouver that they are now adding pay parking in the Spanish Banks beach area?
I am against it.
That's a good. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Pay parking in Spanish banks. Honestly, the fuck are they
that
thinking?
shit,
The
man.
fuck are
Like,
they thinking?
I don't know. I was just in Vancouver. Like if I ended up in one of those banks, I wouldn't have paid for the parking.
Even the Spanish ones.
And that, yeah, especially,
Yeah.
especially the Spanish ones. And I would have gotten a ticket probably. And guess what? Wouldn't have fucking paid that either.
As someone who lives in or has
Well-
been to Spanish Banks, that does outrage me a little bit.
Well, finish off this. Chris, you've got your second minute. Any final words you want to say about music? Anything you want to
We can
highlight
talk about music again.
for 1 minute to
Or
promote?
so. Free
I
wrap
love
up.
music, man. Don't you guys love music?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we're doing this podcast where we don't let anyone talk about music.
While
we love it
sitting on
so
a
much.
stage surrounded by drums and music equipment.
Well, of course.
And our phones that are videotaping us so professionally are sitting on music stands on top of milk crates that are also used to hold up music equipment.
Hey, the bassists sit on milk crates occasionally.
Oh man, milk crates are the best. They're so versatile.
Oh, yeah.
They don't look the
have you
greatest.
ever smoked after a 12-hour shift on a milk crate?
Oh.
my god,
When's the
so
last time
good.
you ever saw milk in a milk crate, though?
Never.
Well, when I worked here.
I guess. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Fool me once.
Actually, no. Our milk did not come in that because we barely went through enough milk here to get a crate full of milk. Our cream came in it.
I guess, yeah.
You do strike me as a creamy guy, Chris.
Yeah, it's the thicker the better, you know?
Exactly. But yeah, so anything you want to
The
highlight?
less that you order cream, the thicker the cream is.
Do you have anything you want to promote, Chris?
Oh, I thought that was it. Just the Steadies, man. We're on tour right now. We're just like in the tiny little break of it. We're going to Ness Creek this weekend, which is just kind of a weekend off. We actually played it last year, so they don't really double up on that. But we just played the Stampede. We played Laketown Shakedown, and we are headlining Waskasiu. Those are our 3 big festivals of this year. And just follow the Steadies. Follow myself.
Honestly, yeah, follow the Steadies, man. Follow
Yeah.
Chris Valleau.
Fucking rights, man. Follow this fucking wacky little podcast that I just found out about.
Honestly, if
Anywhere
they got
else but somewhere else.
if
or some
they've got
shit.
if they've got to the point of hearing you say that on episode 4 of this podcast, they're probably subscribed already.
I'm not helping.
I mean, I'm grateful, man.
I'd like to thank my sponsors, Jägermeister and Fireball. They really keep me going.
Well, thank you once again to Somewhere Else Pub for allowing us to host this awesome podcast here. And thanks to Chris Valleau for coming on as our guest.
That was so much fun.
It's been really great getting
I
to
didn't
know
know
you.
what to expect with all these.
You didn't know you were
stupid-ass
going to be on this
questions.
about
I didn't even
2
know.
hours
Yeah.
ago.
Hey, man, sometimes it's weird when you think about talking to someone for 45 minutes or whatever. It's like, what the fuck are we going to do? But it just flies by.
Turns out, give someone enough booze and they will talk about literally anything else. Thank you so much for finishing off episode 4 of this with us. And we'll see you again next week. Thank you so much.
Music.